How much exposition can you write in your story? Is there such a thing as too much exposition? What about too little exposition? And is there a proper way to write exposition without info dumping? I'm answering these questions today, so be sure to stick around. A big thank you to Jacinda Ellison for this video suggestion. Let's get started! Hey guys, Nour here, and welcome back to my channel. For those visiting for the first time, hello! I'm the fantasy author of the novel Divinity Falling. Be sure to subscribe for weekly writing advice videos. I'm not inside your head, and it would be pretty creepy if I was, but I bet a lot of you wonder how to write good exposition. I talk a lot about show don't tell on this channel, and part of show don't tell is obviously doing less telling, and telling falls under exposition. So does that mean exposition is bad? The answer is no. In fact, exposition is important for every story. The only thing bad about exposition is when it gets too expository. But what does too expository mean exactly? And how can you tell when exposition is just no longer good? So let's break this down to make it easier. Exposition is pretty much the writer telling the reader about the story. It's a great tool for telling the reader the time and location of the scene as well as what characters are doing. For example, you don't just hop into a scene expecting readers to figure out what's going on. Instead, you describe the scene a bit. You might even describe what's going on inside a character's head. And if you're writing in the first person, it will read as if the protagonist is sharing their thoughts. Exposition is also great with dialogue. Without exposition, you just have people talking without any action taking place. So exposition allows you to break the dialogue up with action that shows readers exactly what characters are doing as they talk. When a character says she would rather catch a cold than talk to her ex, is she laughing or is she tearing up pictures of her ex? Exposition is crucial for showing all these important details. And that's pretty much what exposition is. Now, here's what exposition is not. Exposition is not filler. You can't write about the weather just to fill space. Exposition is not your opportunity to go on a philosophical tangent. Although I've read many books that do this, and trust me, I was bored. Now, I'm not saying that no one should include philosophy in their books. If your book has a philosophical theme and characters discuss philosophy, then by all means, go for it. What I am saying, however, is that you shouldn't just write a random philosophical thought that came to your mind in the middle of the night just because you want someone to read about it. That is not the place for that. You can discuss your thoughts with friends, but your book is not where you do that. Exposition is also not an info dump. So please, don't tell me every fact about your character and the world in a long paragraph that never seems to end. This is not a brochure with facts. This is a story. So don't dump all the facts at once. Space them out throughout the book naturally. Let the characters show what kind of people they are. Let the world explain its rules as things occur. Don't info dump. That's not good exposition. In fact, all these no-nos are exactly what show don't tell is warning you about. Telling isn't exposition. It's bad exposition. So now that you know what good exposition and bad exposition look like, how can you tell if you're writing good exposition or if you're just making all the no-nos? Well, the answer is actually simple. And if you're stressed about exposition, then you're probably overthinking it. In every story you write, if a detail does not move the story forward, either by moving the plot or developing a character, then it shouldn't be there. And the same thing applies to exposition. If you write exposition that doesn't move the story forward or doesn't inform us about a character, then remove it. That's all there is to it. And remember, exposition isn't always a chunk of text in paragraph form. The majority of time, exposition is just presented as a companion to dialogue. Again, this is to show what a character is doing or thinking as they speak. In other words, don't feel pressure to always write a paragraph of exposition. Sometimes this is necessary, but sometimes it's not needed. And you shouldn't force yourself to write one just for the sake of doing so, because that's when you start writing filler. So that's all I have for you today. I'd love to know, do you often struggle writing exposition, and in what way? Let me know in the comments. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I put out weekly writing advice videos that will take your story to the next level. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media to see what I'm up to from day to day and to chat with me. And before we go, I just want to give a quick shout out to Sarah Frayne, Lori B, and Alan J. Early from my shout outs here over on Patreon, as well as all my amazing patrons. Thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate you. And remember, Nour for president!